Good morning YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about Phalaenopsis orchids again. A few weeks back I did a video on growing Phalaenopsis on your windowsill and it was quite popular. I got a good response from you guys, so I thought I would continue this sort of video series, and we'll do the next video on windowsill growing Phalaenopsis, and that is going to be when is the right time to remove old bloom spikes on Phalaenopsis orchids. So for me, I found that because these guys live in the greenhouse most of the year, when they came in here, the lack of humidity really kicked some of these flowers' butts. So I thought it's probably a good time to do some trimming up of the old spikes. And it's amazing though, because as much as it's kicked some butts, the high nighttime low temperatures has also made a few new spikes start to come. So you're never without a spike on these guys. That's the wonderful thing about phals. Basically, this first one here, this is my little mini phal. I got him for $1 at Home Depot one time, and he has a little bloom spike on it, and it is starting to turn yellow. And as soon as the bloom spikes start to turn yellow, you know they are done. They're never going to bloom again off that spike. The spike is slowly going to wither away. So what I do is I take some rubbing alcohol and a pair of scissors, and I just pour it liberally over the scissors and sterilize the scissors for a few minutes. And then with a good sharp pair of scissors, I can just easily snip this one off. So let's do that now together. We want to count the nodes down, and I like to take it quite low. I'm going to go one node below the plant itself. So you can see there, I'm going to give it a good snip, and that one will just fall away. So I will sit that guy in the background here. And then we're going to work on this other guy that's in front of us here. Now we have a few phals on the table. So this is a lovely one. I'm going to leave it for a bit. It's still got two beautiful flowers on it. And I'm going to leave this guy here. This is a beautiful purple one. That is the one, again, from the video where we repotted the phal that had no roots, that was in the pot, that had no drain holes. So we rescued that guy, and that's the reward. But what we're going to do today is we're going to work on this guy in the middle. And he has got a few spikes on him. He's got one on this side with flowers that are quickly withering. When you can just pluck them off like that, that means they are pretty much gone. And then on this side here, sorry for moving the camera so much. It's a very wide thing. We have another spike here. So I think for now, we're going to talk about a few different methods of what we can do in this situation. There's three different things I can do here. For this guy, I could leave this spike because there's actually some buds on the end. This guy is one of those phals that just keeps producing off the end of a spike. And it will produce one or two flowers a year like this for years. And what you'll find is it's actually going to slowly tire itself out. So one method would be just to leave these spikes, to just let them go. So that is definitely an option. The other option is going to be cutting it sort of down below the last flowering node. And then you could potentially get a new spike that comes off of this. And the third option is just chopping it off altogether. So at this point, with the spike not yellow, like the first one, you do have a bit of tough choices here. Now I'm very confident I can get this to rebloom. And I think if I give it a break, it's actually going to rebloom much better next year than trying to always have on a few scraggly flowers on the end of the stem here. So as much as I like the idea of always having one or two in bloom, I like the idea of a big bouquet better. Let's see if we can get that guy in focus here. He doesn't want to focus. There he is. So nothing wrong with that at all. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the bamboo skewer and release this spike. Pull up my sleeves here. Now I can get rid of the skewer. So if we were going to cut this guy so that it was going to rebloom off the same spike, we could probably do that. This is a branching one as well, so we could probably do that at this node right here, below all the rest, and then hopefully something would grow out of here. But I think for me, I've seen this guy bloom lots. What I'm going to do is just cut it right off at the base, and that's going to give the plant some energy for actual real growth instead of putting everything into these few little straggly flowers. It's not something you have to do. If If you want to keep the flowers, you can, but I'm going to just go cut and remove that. I always like to leave one node just like this, so you can see there's a dead one, and there's the new one here. So now we're down to one spike, and this is good because this guy's been going for a long time. Now, what should we do with this guy over here? I'm going to turn it around, see if I can get it a better angle for you. So this one, it's still got a couple nice flowers on it, and one that's dying here. Remove that one that's dying. And tough call, it really is, because you can keep the couple, or you can hold out for a big new flush next year. So I'm not sure what to do here. I know probably 75% of you would just leave these flowers on there to continue to bloom away. But I think, you know what, I'm going to keep up with I'm going to remove these spikes and give it a chance to rest for the winter time and grow a little bit. Now this is another perfect example here. Actually, why don't we do this? For this spike, since we have such a long node, I'm going to show you where you would cut it to get the node to rebloom with a whole new flush of blooms all at once. So I think that's something worth trying here. So if we count backwards, here's where the last branch comes off, and I'm going to count backwards from there, one node. So I would expect that I can get this to bloom right about here. So I'm going to cut just above that, just like so. And I can remove this. And that will be how this one will start to bloom off this. And by removing that old other spike that's just been going for years now, it's going to save a little bit of energy for the plant. So there we go. No real wrong or right way to do it. You don't have to cut off the spike. You can leave it if you want to. You don't have to leave it. You can cut it off if you want to. But that is just a few examples of ways to cut off a bloom spike and have it rebloom next year. So ideally, this guy is going to grow throughout the winter here in the nice warm conditions inside the house. And I'm going to put it back out in the greenhouse next spring. And you know, I bet you before spring, somewhere in here, it's going to actually throw off another spike. That's just the way phals are. If it doesn't, well then it's going to live in the greenhouse for the summertime. When it starts to get cool again in the fall next year and the temperatures drop down a little bit, that's when it's going to probably initiate bloom. So it'll have 3/4 of a year to rest and grow some leaves, because believe it or not, phals are supposed to grow some leaves. They're not just always supposed to be in bloom. But that's the wonderful thing about these orchids, is they can be in bloom pretty much all of the time if they want to. And I'll leave you with a shot of that one. That one's just gorgeous. I really, really like that one. That was a great rescue. So there's some tips and tricks to cut off old bloom spikes on your Phalaenopsis. I hope you like this video. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. And I think in a week or two, we're going to do another windowsill update here, and we're going to talk about maybe watering these guys. All right, till next time.